Good morning, everyone, and welcome to EPNOE Junior Day. My name is Malwina Wojcik, and I have the great pleasure of serving as the Junior Vice Representative of EPNOE at Jan Dlugosz University and hosting today's event. Today is a special occasion. Junior scientists, experienced researchers, and all those who believe that collaboration and knowledge exchange can transform the world of science and technology are gathering here. This event is not only an opportunity to present research, but also to inspire one another and discover how much we can achieve when we work together. A few organizational notes before we begin. Our meeting will last until 12:30. Please post your questions in the chat. At the end of the event, there will be a special Q&A session where we can discuss and exchange ideas. Our participants will also do their best to answer your questions in real time via chat. And now, to officially open the event, I invite Vice-Rector for Cooperation and Internationalization, Professor Marcin Sosnowski, who will introduce us to the university's activities and welcome us on behalf of the university authorities.
Thank you very much, dear participants. I would like to officially welcome you at Jan Dlugosz University in Częstochowa in Poland. I am honored to host you, and I would like to say a few words about our university. So, Jan Dlugosz University is established in 1971, so this year we are celebrating the 55th anniversary of establishment of our university. It consists of 6 faculties, 1 doctoral schools, and we have 22 programs offered totally in English, and 13 of them are run by our doctoral school. We have almost 6,000 students and approximately 530 scientific staff. Of course, we also host a lot of people from abroad as students and our scientists. Approximately 270 scientists and students are of foreign nation. We have 6 teaching buildings, approximately 200 lecture halls, 50 teaching laboratories, and our usable area is more than 50,000 square meters. As I told you in the very beginning, our university was established in 1971, so this year is the 55th anniversary, maybe next year, but this academic year is the 55th anniversary of establishment of our university. Primarily, we were established as a teacher training college in Częstochowa, and then we transformed into a full classical university 2 years ago. There are only 21 full classical universities in Poland, so we are at the same levels as Jagiellonian University or Warsaw University. We are very proud of this great achievement. Our university consists of 6 faculties. This is the Faculty of Humanities, Social Sciences, Law and Economics, Faculty of Arts, Władysław Biegański Collegium Medicum, and the faculty that hosts today's event, so the Faculty of Science and Technology. Of course, at our university operates on also inter-faculty centers like the Center of Knowledge Transfer and Innovations in the area of science and art, Interdisciplinary Center for Research and Development, Publishing House, Center for Lifelong Learning, Center for Culture, Art and Science, and so on and so on. I would like to say a few words about our location in Poland. So Częstochowa is located in the southern part of Poland, and we are very well communicated with the airports and the biggest cities in Częstochowa. The closest airport to Częstochowa is the Katowice airport, which is approximately half an hour by car, by highway. But of course there is also a direct highway connection and direct train connection with the biggest airport in Poland, which is the airport in Warsaw, but of course there are also direct connections with Wrocław, Kraków or Gdańsk. So you are encouraged to visit Częstochowa, and if you do so, you will be able to fly to one of those airports and you will get to Częstochowa directly by train or by highway. A few words about international cooperation, because we are meeting today we are meeting international young researchers, so I bet you would like to know a little bit more about our international cooperation. So I have to say that we operate within several projects that are aiming to increase mobility of our staff, our employees, our students, but also we can found mobilities of other people that would like to visit Częstochowa and visit Jan Dlugosz University. Our partner institutions are institutions from more than 30 countries. Each year we host about 350 foreigners. Half of them are students and another half are visitors, scientists and researchers who would like to visit our university. Something that is very important is the fact that we are the member of a European University Alliance with the acronym COLORS. This is very important for us, and therefore I would like to say a little bit more about this, but later during my presentation. I have to say that last year we have established a Welcome Center. Welcome Center is our facility that is dedicated to host students and scientists and researchers from abroad and make them feel at Jan Dlugosz University the same as they would feel at home. So Welcome Center services includes visa, residence permits and legal support, sometimes even medical care, some guidance with banking assistance and accommodation. And of course, you can contact Welcome Center if you would like to visit Jan Dlugosz University, and Welcome Center will take care about all the organizational issues that you will have to face before the visit and during the visit. For our Erasmus students who would like to visit us within the Erasmus program, we offer the Erasmus Students Club, which operates very effectively in our university. We organize welcome days for Erasmus students, some integration events and activities facilitating the adaptation process at Jan Dlugosz University. We also have the buddy system, which it means that each of our Erasmus students has a buddy from our students, and they together they have the possibility to meet our university, meet our neighborhood, all the issues that are important for students when they stay at Jan Dlugosz University, when they stay in Częstochowa and in Poland. As I said, we organize integration events and activities within Częstochowa and in our neighborhood. We organize events like Christmas Eve or the other activities, including sports activities, competitions with our students, with students from different countries, and of course some sightseeing tours in Częstochowa and in our neighborhood. About the research and innovation, I would like to say that Malwina and Professor Barczynska will say more, but I have to tell you something more about the COLORS Alliance. So we are the member of the COLORS European University Alliance. This alliance consists of 9 universities. The leader of our alliance is the Paderborn University from Germany. And the members of our alliance, apart from, of course, Jan Dlugosz University in Częstochowa, is the university from Croatia, from Sweden, France, Spain, Italy, Northern Macedonia, and Latvia. We have more than 50 associated partners that are companies, institutions from the business and social representatives from all the countries of our alliance. Some numbers about COLORS. So as I told you, there are 9 partners of the COLORS Alliance. One of them is Jan Dlugosz University. Altogether, we have more than 126,000 students, more than 12,000 employees, and as I said, 54 associated partners from all the countries that are part of the University Alliance. When we talk about the number of citizens that we address our offer to, is more than 21 million of citizens. Of course, European University Alliance is a kind of a project that will end in 2027, but our alliance will last even further because we have strong bonds, strong relationships that have been established. We offer joint diploma programs and other issues for students, for staff, for researchers. that increase the mobility and increase the collaboration between our countries and our universities. And last but not least, Jan Dlugosz University is the open university. It means that you are all very welcome at Jan Dlugosz University. We would like to host you at our university. As I said, make yourself feel here at Jan Dlugosz University, like at home. So if you would like to visit Jan Dlugosz University, you are more than welcome to do so. Thank you very much. I hope that today's event will be very fruitful for all of you. You will have the opportunity to exchange knowledge, to discuss research and analyze the results that you have obtained during your research. I hope it will strengthen your scientific capabilities, and maybe you will have the opportunity to visit us and meet us in real, not in this hybrid form, but here in Częstochowa at the Jan Dlugosz University at the Faculty of Science and Technology. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor. Now the floor will be taken by the Dean of the Faculty of Science and Technology, Professor Renata Barczynska-Felusiak, who will talk about the faculty's activities and how science is developing here.
Good morning, my name is Renata Barczynska. I am the Dean of the Faculty of Science and Technology. This faculty is one of 6 faculties at Jan Dlugosz University, and this year it's celebrate 55th anniversary. The Faculty of Science and Technology is located in city center in Częstochowa. Has auditorium for 250 people, lecture and training room, IT labs, and approximately 60 specialized teaching and research laboratory. The didactic process is supported by tools dedicated to e-learning. Research at the faculty is conducted in the fields of natural science, agriculture science, engineering and technology, medical and healthy science. The faculty comprises 2 institutes, 5 departments and 1 division. The largest of institute at the faculty is Institute of Chemistry. The main research topic focuses on the development and characterization of modern materials for energy storage, environmental protection and diagnostic, as well as the synthesis and structural analysis of new inorganic, organic and intermetallic compounds. Second institute is Institute of Physics. The main research areas are physical, theoretical physics, computational modeling and materials, optical process, luminescences, biophotonic and radiation, medical physics and structural research. The largest department at the faculty is Department of Dietetic and Food Research, specializing in studying starch and resistant dextrin from potato starch, with application in both food and not food industries, as well as in the development of innovative plant-based products. The department also conducts research on the gut microbiota of overweight and obese children, and engage in nutritional counseling and dietary prevention. Next department is Department of Pharmaceutical Science. This is the youngest department at the Faculty of Science and Technology. It conducts interdisciplinary research combining the fields of pharmaceutical, chemical and medical science. Next department, very important, Department of Advanced Computational Methods, specializing in research on artificial intelligence, application with particular emphasis of energy and environmental engineering. We have Department of Biochemistry, Biotechnology and Ecotoxicology, excels in study environmental impact of chemical, biodiversity, and interaction between salts, plants, and microorganisms to promote ecosystem healthy and sustainable agriculture. We have Department of Mathematics and Computer Science, and we have one division of Content Security Problems, conduct research and education in the areas of forensic security system, detective work, and criminology, addressing modern challenges in public and institutional safety. The faculty offers and coordination education in 11 undergraduate program, 7 graduate program, and 1 long cycle master program. This is a pharmacy. 4 of these study programs are offered in English. Bachelor is chemistry, physics. Master level is chemistry, physics, computer science, and medical engineering. The Faculty of Science and Technology is a place where students learn modern laboratory, well-equipped laboratory and classroom. The university and the faculty enable students to develop their interest, not only academic, but also professional, also personal interest. So we will next present videos about faculty. And now, so thank you for your attention, and I invite you to visit to the Faculty of Science and Technical. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor. So let's move on to a few words about EPNOE. Today I introduce the European Polysaccharide Network of Excellence. It's a non-profit association that connects academia, industry, and civil society around polysaccharide and bio-based polymer research. EPNOE goal is to foster collaboration, innovation, and knowledge sharing within the scientific community. EPNOE's mission is built on 3 pillars. It's research, innovation, and education. We perform world-class multidisciplinary research on polysaccharides and develop applied R&D projects across sectors like materials, food, and biomedicine. EPNOE also educates young scientists and spread knowledge about polysaccharides to society. What are benefits for EPNOE members? Members of EPNOE gain access to a powerful international network and collaboration opportunities. They can join training sessions, share knowledge, and communicate with leading research and companies. Membership is open to individuals, universities, and industry partners, each with dedicated representative roles. EPNOE has developed a long-term research roadmap recently published in Carbohydrate Polymers. This document highlights future directions and challenges in polysaccharide and bio-based polymer science. Both the skills and research roadmaps are freely available on website. So what's next? EPNOE operates through a structured executive board that ensures balanced leadership and collaboration. And EPNOE Junior Group is appointed by executive board, while EPNOE Junior representatives are appointed by the respective institution. President of EPNOE, Professor Pedro Fardim, leads the association. He's supported by vice presidents from institutions across Europe, covering research, education, innovation, conferences, and communication. Together, they represent the diversity and strength of the EPNOE network. The EPNOE Junior Group is made up of young researchers from various European countries. They represent early career scientists, promoting collaboration, visibility, and networking among peers. Their initiatives include meetings and active participation in EPNOE events. EPNOE's membership includes both academic and industrial institutions. EPNOE members come from over 16 countries, forming a rich and diverse network. This combination of research and industry expertise drives innovation and real-world impact. What about numbers? Today, EPNOE includes 46 institutions, 11 individual members, and over 5,500 participants in conference and workshops. EPNOE supported more than 100 collaborative projects and published over 80 newsletters. These numbers reflect a truly active and growing international community. This wide membership base allows constant exchange of ideas, materials, and expertise. It's what makes EPNOE a living, collaborative ecosystem for bio-based science. Main networking events include the EPNOE International Conference and the EPNOE Junior Scientist Meeting, both held every 2 years. EPNOE also organizes focused workshops on topics like circular bioeconomy, innovation, analytical techniques in biopolymer science. These events are key for knowledge exchange. EPNOE publishes 6 newsletters a year, featuring member news, project updates, and job opportunities. Members area provides an online environment for collaboration, and we are also active in education through Erasmus+, Marie Curie programs, and webinars open to everyone. Every year, EPNOE members gather at the General Assembly meeting, and this event allows members to vote, share ideas, shape the future of the association. It's an excellent opportunity to engage directly with EPNOE strategic direction. Next major events are the EPNOE Junior Scientist Meeting 2026 in Malaga, in Spain, and the International Polysaccharide Conference in Belgium in 2027. Both will bring together scientists, industry experts, and students from around the world. So hope to see you there. And thank you very much for your attention. And to learn more, you can visit EPNOE's website or follow on Facebook, Instagram, on LinkedIn. And now we move on to the first substantive part. Professor Janusz Kapusniak will talk about 10 years of the joint scientific journey of Jan Dlugosz University and the EPNOE network. This will be an opportunity to see how great projects emerge from small ideas. International cooperation is not just about joint publications on conferences. It is above all about relationships between people who inspire each other, combine their passions, and thus give research a completely new dimension.
Good morning, everyone. During my presentation titled 10 Years of Joint Path of Jan Dlugosz University with the European Polysaccharide Network of Excellence, I will attempt to show you that our university and EPNOE have built a significant history of cooperation. I will try to show that the JDU has actively participated in events and activities organized by EPNOE for over 10 years. Finally, I will want to demonstrate the impact this partnership has had on my professional and personal life. And I will answer why it was worth being part of EPNOE. During the lecture, I will try to build a timeline and mark milestones on it. It all started with an email I received from Patrick Navard, former president of EPNOE and EPNOE founding coordinator in July 2013. In that email, Patrick invited me to give an invited lecture of EPNOE International Conference in Nice in France. Of course, I accepted this invitation with pleasure and submitted an abstract which was included in the conference program. The conference took place in October in Nice, in a beautiful conference center, but also, of course, in the beautiful setting of the French Riviera. As I said at the beginning, my professional and life paths are clearly connected to EPNOE. And this slide shows the first evidence of this. During the conference in Nice, and me and my wife, who also attended, had the opportunity to celebrate our first wedding anniversary. During the conference, I had the opportunity to give a lecture entitled Products of Thermal Modification of Starch for Food and Health. The objective of this study, conducted in cooperation with people, three of whom, Kamila, Renata, and Arkadiusz, are also participating in today's meeting, was to produce starch preparation with a higher content of diffraction inaccessible to the human digestive enzyme by the combination of two factors responsible for starch resistance: temperature and chemical modification, to examine the possible connection between the method of producing of starch preparation, their structure, they resistant to enzymatic digestion, and to apply enzyme-resistant starch preparations as products with potential prebiotic properties, selectively stimulated the growth and activity of beneficial bacteria, and not contributed to the growth of undesirable intestinal microbiota. In 2015, as the Dean of the Faculty of Mathematics and Natural Sciences, I had the pleasure of submitting an application for the admission of the faculty I headed to the group of affiliated members of EPNOE. At the end of the letter, I wrote what we wanted to achieve as a university and what I believe we achieved. I will cite this fragment. Membership in EPNOE Association gives scientists from JDU, especially young, brilliant scientists and also PhD students, opportunity to be involved in different activities offered by EPNOE as courses, training schools, mobility programs for postgraduate students and postdoctoral students, opportunities for students to perform part of their research in another place. EPNOE membership enables us to stay in touch with the larger polysaccharide community. To be a member of the EPNOE is a paramount to staying in touch with polysaccharides and scientists enriching them. The Faculty of Mathematics and Natural Sciences was accepted as an affiliated member of EPNOE during the General Assembly held in Paris in July 2015. During this meeting, a booklet of EPNOE members was also presented. In Paris, I had the pleasure of presenting the main topic of research conducted by polysaccharide researchers at our university. The topic was biocatalytic esterification of polysaccharides for the design of novel materials with a wide range of application, including the packaging industry, agriculture and the environment, and also food industry and biomedicine. In 2015, our university was presented for the first time in the April issue of EPNOE newsletter. This fact made me consider that the history of JDU's membership in EPNOE began in 2015, and this year we celebrate the 10th anniversary of cooperation. At the same time, I was asked by Professor Danuta Ciechanska, director of the Institute of Biopolymers and Chemical Fibers in Łódź, and also head of the conference organizing committee, to participate in the work of the International Committee EPNOE 2015. The 2015 conference took place in an unusual location, namely the National Stadium in Warsaw. National Stadium in Warsaw is the most modern multi-purpose arena and one of the most modern of its type in Europe. It was built for the European Football Championship UEFA Euro 2012. The gala dinner was held in the Royal Castle in Warsaw at the Kubicki Arcade. It was accompanied by professional fashion show featuring clothing made from biodegradable materials. I had the opportunity to perform on the runway for the first and probably last time, but not as a model, but as announcer. And because history likes to repeat itself, the day of my plenary lecture was mine and my wife's third wedding anniversary. Therefore, I included slides highlighting this celebration in my presentation. The conference in Warsaw was exceptionally fruitful for my research group. As I mentioned earlier, I had the pleasure of presenting a plenary lecture on methods of starch esterification with fatty acid, particularly those conducted by the biocatalysis research group at the Institute of Chemistry Environmental Protection of Jan Dlugosz University. Classical methods using organic solvents with or without chemical catalyst, solid-state esterification in the microwave field, biocatalyzed esterification with lipase enzymes, and esterification in ionic liquids were also discussed. During the lecture, I also attempted to answer the question whether or not to deal with the starch, and what about the future, by presenting my personal story against the backdrop of starch's molecular structure. Many people remember this slide. During the last EPNOE conference in Sundsvall, my friend from Aveiro, Professor Manuel Coimbra, asked me after 10 years if it was worth it. During the conference, we also promoted the project entitled Modification and Functionalization of Biopolymers from Cereals and Milling Processing to develop new generation biomaterials, which Jan Dlugosz University implemented jointly with the Institute of Biopolymers and Chemical Fibers in Łódź, Lubella Company, and the Polish Packaging Research and Development Center. My young colleagues presented 5 posters, including 4 presenting results of research obtained within the framework of the mentioned project and concerning the oxidation of innovative floury products, esterification of floury products with oleic acid, characterization of new materials based on innovative floury products, and heat plasticization of functional wheat flour by extrusion in the presence of plasticizers. In 2016, I was asked to present the research topics of the team I led at the General Assembly held in Sophia Antipolis in France. I focus on 2 leading topics: biocatalyzed esterification of starch with fatty acids and the products of thermal modification of starch for food and health. After the presentation and discussion, Jan Dlugosz University was accepted as a regular member of EPNOE. During the conference in Jena in 2017, we had the pleasure of presenting the results of our research in the form of 2 oral presentations and 1 poster. I spoke about potato maltodextrin high fatty acid ester, advances in research and application in food industry. Arek gave a presentation entitled Use of Hydrolyzed Waste Oils in Lipase Catalyzed Starch Esterification, and Kamila presented a poster on enzyme-resistant dextrin from potato starch for potential use in the beverage industry. Fortunately, the conference took place in August, and I didn't have to celebrate another wedding anniversary during it. In June 2018, at my invitation, Professor Patrick Nawar, president of EPNOE, visited Jan Dlugosz University. During his stay, he delivered a lecture entitled Plant-Based Polymer Composites. Patrick also had the opportunity to celebrate University Day with the entire university community. In 2018, preparation began for the EPNOE conference in Aveiro in Portugal. In November, at my invitation, Professor Manuel Coimbra and Dr. Idalina Goncalves came to Jan Dlugosz University. The professor delivered a lecture titled The Research on Polysaccharides and the Application at the University of Aveiro, and Idalina presented her research on potato chips bioproducts for bioplastic production, from solvent casting to extrusion and injection processes. During the visit, we discussed a joint project within the Polish-Portuguese cooperation, and the cost action proposal manual was preparing. During the meeting, the idea arose to devote one of the sessions of the Aveiro conference to starch. I was invited by the conference organizers to prepare a session titled Starch Modification and Application. This was very important to me because never before had starch been given such extensive attention as in Aveiro. I managed to invite excellent speakers. I also prepared a lecture entitled Design of New Polymeric Materials for the Production of Biodegradable Packaging based on hydrophobic starch derivatives. And Kamila proposed an oral presentation entitled Enzyme-Resistant Preparation from Potato Starch for Beverage Industry. Unfortunately, due to a family emergency, we had to cancel our participation in the conference. To my great satisfaction, the sessions devoted to starch turned out to be a great success, for which I would like to thank the speakers and presenters. At the beginning of 2019, changes occurred in the EPNOE board. Professor Pedro Fardim became new president. Pedro trusted me and entrusted me with the role of vice president for education. My strategic responsibilities included promoting the mobility of students, PhD students, graduates and staff, particularly through the Erasmus Plus program, building the database of curricula and other educational materials related to, of course, to polysaccharides, and planning the organization of EPNOE online education. The EPNOE management team continued its mission for the next term in 2021-2022. Professor Tina Nipelu joined the team as Deputy Vice President for Education. In January 2021, the first meeting of coordinators of Erasmus Plus and also representatives of universities belonging to the EPNOE was organized. The invitation to participate in the meeting was also accepted by employees of the Department of Science and International Relations of Jan Dlugosz University in Częstochowa, Mr. Bartlomiej Kawalik and Mr. Ilya Kulczykowski, who presented the possibilities of internationalization using the Erasmus Plus and CEPOS mobility programs. In 2021, we began hosting online meetings under the name EPNOE Webinar Series. Tina was responsible for organizing them. In 2021, we managed to organize 5 webinars. The biggest challenge in 2021 was to begin work on preparing the EPNOE educational roadmap. I had the pleasure of leading the team preparing this strategic document. The team included Professor Anton Huber from University of Graz, Austria, Professor Chunling Su from Åbo Academy University in Finland, Professor Tena Nipelu from Chalmers University of Technology in Sweden, and Professor Bruno Medrono from University of Alhavre, Portugal. Another meeting with Erasmus Plus coordinators and representatives of universities affiliated with EPNOE took place in 2022. In addition to Erasmus Plus, the meeting also discussed new programs such as CPAS for Ukraine, the Fulbright program, and the Swiss program for Erasmus Plus. We continued our EPNOE webinar series with a great success. In 2022, we managed to organize 8 webinars. It was a great honor for me to be invited to serve as a member of EPNOE Scientific Committee at the EPNOE conference in Nantes, France. During this conference, my team presented a lecture on the physicochemical characterization of sobudexin fiber from potato starch, obtained on semi-industrial scale, as well as 2 posters. The first one on the assessment of prebiotic properties of sobudexin fiber from potato starch, obtained on semi-industrial scale for use in vegetable and fruit mousse. And the second one, presented by Kamila, on the effect of microwave-assisted heating on starch-derived dietary fiber production. During this conference, we also had the opportunity to promote the results of the project with the acronym Press Fiber for Kids. That project has been coordinated by Jan Dlugosz University in cooperation with the most modern specialist pediatric hospital in Poland, the biggest comprehensive cancer center in Poland, and one of the leading juice, nectar, and soft drink producer in Poland, and also one scientific partner. The main goal of this project was to conduct development works which will result in the development and implementation of the technology of the production of unsweetened vegetable and fruit products enriched with fiber preparation from potato starch with prebiotic properties, with acceptable organoleptic properties, and also with appropriate storage stability intended for children and adolescents. And since the conference was once again held in October, you know what I mean? Yes, you are right. My wife and me celebrated our 9th wedding anniversary, this time with our sons, who really wanted to feel like scientists and be on stage. Participation in the conference brought measurable benefits because my son Jan, 2 weeks after his return to Poland, prepared a presentation about France, also talking about Nantes, and received a grade of 6. Unfortunately, I was unable to attend the next EPNOE conference in Graz, Austria in 2023. At the same time, I was attending the 4th International Conference of Food, Bioactives and Health in Prague in Czech Republic. But, as you can see, I connected with the conference participant in Graz by affiliating my presentation with the EPNOE logo. 2 extremely important strategic documents were presented during EPNOE 2023 conference: EPNOE Research Roadmap 2040 and Upscaling of Professional for a Sustainable Europe. I have the great honor and pleasure of co-authoring both publications. Due to an enormous number of responsibilities resulting from serving first as the Vice-Rector for Research and International Relations and then as a Rector of Jan Dlugosz University in Częstochowa, I had to somewhat limit my activities within EPNOE. I was therefore even more delighted to be invited to join the scientific committee of the 9th EPNOE International Polysaccharide Conference held in Sundsvall, Sweden. I thank all EPNOE members for building a network of collaboration, partnership, and of course friendship. I am proud that Jan Dlugosz University has been part of EPNOE family for 10 years. And thank you very much for your kind attention.
Thank you very much, Professor, for your inspiring and interesting presentation. Now I invite Vice Dean for General Affairs, University Professor Kamila Kapusniak, to talk about scientific collaboration with EPNOE members. So the floor is yours.
My name is Kamila Kapusniak and I work as University Professor at Jan Dlugosz University in Częstochowa, Poland. I work at the Faculty of Science and Technology, and more specific at Department of Dietetics and Food Studies. My scientific interests include polysaccharides, especially starch and its modification, dietary fiber, and functional food. Today, I will talk about scientific cooperation of my university with two EPNOE network members, one university and one industrial partner. First, I want to talk about our cooperation with Portuguese University located in Aveiro. The city is called the Venice of Portugal and truly deserves that title. I highly recommend visiting this place and seeing not only beautiful lagoon, the canal with gondolas and the buildings with blue and white Portuguese ceramics, but also the modern university. I spent almost a month there in 2019. I work in Professor Manuel Antonio Coimbra laboratory, which is a great honor for me. I collected and characterized samples prepared from potato starch in Poland. I work with protocols written in Portuguese, which was quite demanding, but fortunately the language of science is universal. I perform various analyses, above all GCMS, the glycosidic linkages determination, and various sugar analyses. After returning to Poland, together with scientists from Portugal, we published a paper that contained, among other, results from my stay in Portugal. The aim of the study was to conduct microwave-assisted modification of potato starch for dietary fiber production. As you can see from this slide, I had a great time at the university. I met some wonderful and very friendly researchers in Professor Coimbra's group. I also had the opportunity to celebrate my birthday there with the unique owoc birthday cake. In 2020, we hosted 3 researchers from Portugal in Częstochowa: Joana Lopes, Jessica Santos, and one of their supervisors, Dr. Idalina Gonçalves. They were involved in obtaining various starch-based materials, including those from byproducts of the potato chips industry, as can be seen in our joint publication. I believe they had a truly enjoyable and productive time in Częstochowa, where after their laboratory sessions, they had the opportunity to explore the Kraków-Częstochowa upland with its beautiful Jurassic castles and rock formations. In 2021, we welcomed 3 more scientists from Portugal: Silvia Petronillo, Paulo Brites, and Gonçalo Oliveira, pictured with the Częstochowa team, and 1 Erasmus student from Italy, Alberto Ritondo. After their stay in Poland, we continue our collaboration and published 2 more papers on bioplastics, one obtained from starch derived from rice byproducts, and the other from starch derived from coffee byproducts. In 2022, we were given a great opportunity to co-organize Junior EPNOE conference. The conference took place in Aveiro, and in addition to the University of Aveiro and Jan Dlugosz University, the third co-organizer was the Institute of Materials Science in Barcelona, Spain. On behalf of the Polish University, I and Dr. Arkadiusz Żarski served on the organizing committee. The conference attracted a large number of participants. It's worth mentioning that one of the thematic sessions was polysaccharides in agri-food sciences, chaired by 2 researchers from Aveiro who had previously visited Częstochowa, Silvia Petronillo and Joana Lopes. Our Polish chair was Malwina, the main organizer of today's meeting. As I mentioned at the beginning, I'll now tell you about EPNOE industrial partner with whom we collaborate. It's a brand new member from France, but truly international, Roquette. The company is leading supplier of botanical ingredients, excipients, and pharmaceutical solutions to consumer and patients worldwide. Roquette employs over 11,000 people worldwide, operating in over 150 countries, in over 40 production facilities, and 20 R&D and innovation centers. As starch specialists, we cooperate especially with another famous starch specialist, who is Dr. Jovin Hasim. We hosted Dr. Hasim at our university in 2022 and had the pleasure of attending his lecture. While working with starch, it's also worth trying typical Polish starch-based dishes like pierogi. Following the visit in 2022, we prepared a research project and conducted several short-term collaborative studies for the years 2023-2025. This research resulted in the filing of the European patent application. Continuing our collaboration with Roquette, this year, Malwina, Wojcik and I also had the wonderful opportunity to participate in a short-term research visit to Roquette's production facility, R&D laboratories and application laboratories. It was a great honor for us to visit Roquette in Lestrem, the place where it all began, where the huge factory, headquarters, R&D laboratories and offices are located. Finally, it is impossible not to mention that these mobilities, both incoming and outgoing, wouldn't have been possible without the support of the Polish National Agency for Academic Exchange. Almost all of these trips were financed under the PROM program. That name means ferry in Polish. Thank you for your attention, and I invite you to cooperate with us.
Thank you very much for your presentation. And this pleasant note concludes the first part of our meeting. And now it's time for a longer coffee break. So we start as planned at 10:25. We're back after a break. I'm now inviting you on a unique journey. We'll take a look inside our laboratories and show you our research infrastructure. This is where experiments, tests, and analyses are conducted every day. But laboratories are more than just equipment and technology. Above all, they're people whose curiosity and passion transform theory into practice. So now let's watch a short film presenting our scientific side.
Research laboratories at the Faculty of Science and Technology. Spray drying is one of the most important techniques used in the food industry. It enables the production of high-quality, durable powdered products from liquid raw materials. In our research, we use spray drying in the development of innovative vegan coffee creamers that serve as an alternative to traditional dairy creamers. In addition to being entirely plant-based, their added value lies in the enrichment with a fibre preparation from potato starch, which exhibits prebiotic properties, as well as in the reduction of glucose syrup content. The aim of our work is to obtain a product that combines the functionality of spray drying technology with the concept of plant-based food and sustainable development. The process begins with the preparation of a plant-based emulsion. The mixture is then introduced into a spray dryer, where the rapid evaporation of water produces a stable powder that is easy to store, dose, and dissolve in hot beverages. The obtained product is subjected to a series of analyses aimed at determining its quality and technological suitability. Starch is one of the most important plant-based biopolymers used in the food, pharmaceutical, and biotechnological industries. Its properties can be modified through dextrinization, a partial breakdown of polysaccharide chains under thermal treatment, In our laboratories, this process is carried out using various energy sources, including a microwave reactor that enables fast and uniform heating of the sample. The obtained products are characterized, among others, in terms of color changes using a colorimeter and rheological properties using a rotational viscometer, RVA. The viscosity profile reveals how the modification affects granule structure and paste behavior during heating and cooling. The Functional Foods Laboratory is also equipped with a prototype research device designed to produce dextrin from potato starch. This device, commonly known as a dextrinator, is a type of reactor for semi-industrial production. Its key systems include solid feed and mixing, liquid chemical dosing, contact air heating, contactless thermal oil heating, and dust removal with filter surface regeneration. Metabolomics is the study of small molecule metabolites present in biological systems. It enables monitoring of biochemical changes caused by environmental factors, diet, or disease. The LCMS technique, liquid chromatography coupled with mass spectrometry, is used to separate compounds over time and identify them based on their molecular mass. Metabolic profiles are compared between samples to identify characteristic biomarkers and understand biological mechanisms. Such analyses combine high-precision instrumentation with advanced data processing and multivariate statistics. In the Polymer Materials Synthesis and Degradation Laboratory, we create modern, biodegradable, and biocompatible polymer materials based on polysaccharides, with an eye toward a future that combines science and environmental protection. Our research begins with the synthesis of new materials. Each is thoroughly analysed for its physicochemical properties before moving on to the next stages of research. We form selected polymers into films, microspheres, and nanospheres. We analyse their surface and structure using a scanning electron microscope to gain full control over their properties. We then analyse how the materials behave in various degradative environments, aquatic, soil, and biological, under strictly controlled conditions. One of the key directions of our research is the controlled release of active substances, from plant protection products, through cosmeceuticals, to pharmaceutical compounds. We also examine how the resulting materials and their degradation products impact the environment. In our vegetation hall, we monitor plant growth under precisely controlled conditions to assess the safety and effectiveness of our solutions. We also utilize 3D printing to create structures from newly synthesized or commercially available biodegradable polymers. This opens up new possibilities in the design of modern materials. Pharmaceutical dosage forms are not only composed of active pharmaceutical ingredients. Excipients and co-formers also play a crucial role and contribute to their formulation. The use of small molecule co-formers or larger polymeric compounds can significantly influence the properties of the active ingredient. Such a strategy makes it possible to improve its solubility, which is particularly important since many active substances are poorly soluble, enhance stability, prevent recrystallization, and sometimes even provide additional health-promoting effects. In studies on such systems, which, in the case of polymers, are most often amorphous and referred to as solid dispersions, equipment such as a ball mill, used for grinding and amorphization, or a sonicator, used for particle size reduction and obtaining saturated solutions, is employed. The resulting products are then analysed in terms of their dissolution profile, antioxidant activity, and biological properties, such as antibacterial or anti-cancer effects. The Polymer Processing Laboratory is equipped with a planetary mixer, a single-screw extruder, and an injection moulding machine. These devices are used for plasticization and pressure-temperature moulding of various types of polymer materials, including polysaccharides. Processing trials are conducted on natural polymers, physico-chemically modified polymers, and recycled polymer waste. the results of extruder and injection moulding machines, various types of profiles, films, and granulates are further analysed in the material mechanical properties testing laboratory. These primarily involve destructive methods to evaluate their strength, elasticity, and resistance to deformation. Strength tests include tensile, compression, shear, tear, and bending. Laboratory of Environmental Research and New Materials supports interdisciplinary research in the fields of materials chemistry, biopolymers, cosmetology, and environmental engineering, also offering collaboration within scientific and industrial projects. 1. Agilent GC/MS or GC/FID with autosampler. This is a gas chromatography system combined with mass spectrometry or a flame ionization detector. It enables precise identification and quantification of organic compounds, both simple and complex mixtures. Thanks to the autosampler, multiple samples can be analyzed automatically in one sequence. The system ensures repeatability, saves time, and reduces human error. It is widely used in environmental, pharmaceutical, biological, and materials research. 2. Mettler Toledo, TGADSC 3+ and DSC3. These are thermal analysis instruments that allow monitoring of mass changes in heat flow in a sample. They can determine thermal stability, melting points, and crystallization temperatures. The devices are essential for studying polymers, biomaterials, and pharmaceuticals. High sensitivity and the ability to work in different atmospheres make them excellent tools for the characterization of new materials. 3. Agilent LCTQ and LCDAD with autosampler. These liquid chromatography systems are designed to analyze non-volatile and complex compounds. LCTQ, the triple quadrupole, provides very sensitive and selective trace analysis. LCDAD enables detection of multiple compounds across a wide UV-VIS range. The autosampler increases automation and repeatability of measurements. These instruments are widely applied in biological, environmental, and materials analysis. 4. Climate chamber. This device is used to test sample stability under controlled environmental conditions. It allows precise adjustment of temperature, humidity, and light, and then monitors their effects on the material. The chamber makes it possible to simulate aging processes and test product durability. It is commonly applied in cosmetics, pharmaceuticals, polymers, and food studies. 5. Thermo-Scientific CHNSO. An elemental analyzer that quickly determines the content of carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, sulfur, and oxygen. These data confirm chemical composition and purity of a sample. The instrument works by combusting the sample and analyzing the resulting gases. It is widely used in organic, biopolymer, and environmental research. 6. CEM Edge. A modern extraction system that significantly shortens analysis time and reduces solvent consumption. It enables fast and efficient isolation of active compounds from plants, food, and biological samples. The device is environmentally friendly and cost-effective. It supports laboratories in obtaining valuable information about sample composition with high reproducibility. 7. Christ Alpha Lyophilizer. A freeze dryer that removes water from samples under low temperature and pressure. This process preserves the structure and properties of sensitive substances. Lyophilization is essential for biological materials, enzymes, and biopolymers. The Christ Alpha Lyophilizer enables long-term storage of samples without loss of quality. 8. Agilent GPCS ECMDS with autosampler A-size exclusion chromatography system designed to study molecular weight distribution of polymers and biopolymers. It accurately determines average molar mass and polydispersity. The autosampler allows multiple samples to be analysed in one sequence. The instrument is applied in natural and synthetic polymer research as well as industrial quality control. 9. Thermoscientific Nicolay IS, 50FTIR and Nicolay IN10, infrared spectrometers that allow chemical structure analysis by identifying functional groups. The IS50 offers high sensitivity, while the IN10 combines FTIR with microscopy for detailed surface mapping. These instruments enable both qualitative and quantitative studies and are highly valuable in polymer, biomaterial, and pharmaceutical analysis. 10. Cryogenic mill. A specialized grinder that pulverizes samples at very low temperatures, usually with liquid nitrogen. This makes it possible to homogenize even hard, elastic, or sensitive materials without thermal degradation. The cryogenic mill ensures uniform samples, which is critical for further chemical and biological analyses. 11. Agilent MPA-ESA, microwave plasma atomic emission spectrometer, used to determine metals and elements in solid and liquid samples. Unlike traditional ICP systems, it does not require noble gases, making it more cost-effective and safer to use. The instrument combines high sensitivity with simple operation and is suitable for routine as well as advanced research. 12th Bucci encapsulator, a device for producing microcapsules and nanocapsules that serve as carriers for active substances such as vitamins, oils, or drugs. Encapsulation improves stability, protects compounds from environmental factors, and enables controlled release over time. The Bucci encapsulator is used in pharmaceuticals, cosmetics, and the food industry. A microbiological laboratory is a space where various microorganisms, bacteria, viruses, and fungi are studied. Every day, microbiologists work with modern equipment that ensures sterile and optimal conditions for research. The laboratory is equipped with incubators for microorganism cultures, laminar flow cabinets protecting samples from contamination, as well as microscopes and molecular systems enabling precise identification. This allows for the isolation and classification of microorganisms, microbiological quality and safety control, biochemical analyses and tests, as well as rapid diagnostics of harmful agents. An important part of the work is determining antimicrobial susceptibility and estimating problematic quantities, the foundation of effective threat management. The analyses carried out in our laboratory are applied in food quality control, environmental studies, biotechnology, and many other fields of science and industry. Microbiology, health, safety, future. So far, the following studies have been conducted in the laboratory. Evaluation of the prebiotic properties of resistant dextrins obtained from potato starch. Determination of the effect of resistant dextrins from potato starch on the gut microbiota of people of different ages. Dairy products without lactose enriched with resistant dextrin were examined. Isolation and identification of bacterial strains from various natural environments were performed. The use of probiotic bacteria and bacteria isolated from the feces of children in the protection and storage of fruits and vegetables was investigated. The properties and potential applications of antimicrobial peptides were evaluated. The antifungal properties and applications of a new indole 3-carboxylic acid polymer with cobalt-2 were assessed. The bioresorbable polymers and polymer blends with bactericidal properties intended for use in cosmetics and dermatology were studied. The effectiveness of the sterilization process for advanced materials dedicated to cardiovascular surgeries was evaluated in order to minimize tissue injury.
Now we are moving to the presentations by junior researchers. This is a unique part of the program, as it's here that we can see that direction science is heading in the hands of the young generation. So, as the first speaker, I invite Monika Lewanska to present a presentation titled Microbiological Aspects of Polysaccharides Research.
Hello everyone, I'm Monika. I'm really glad to have the opportunity to share with you some insight into the microbiological aspects of polysaccharide research. Let's start with a quick look at what polysaccharides actually are and why they're so important in microbiology. When we talk about polysaccharides, we should remember that many of them come from microorganisms. They can divided in three main groups: CPS, connected with bacterial pathogenicity, LPS, found in the outer membrane of bacteria, and EPS, produced outside the cell and widely used in industry. Polysaccharides are made by different bacteria, fungi, and algae. Because of their useful physical and chemical properties, they can act as binders, emulsifiers, gels, stabilizers, and thickening agents. Some well-known examples are dextran, arginate, xanthan, or hyaluronic acid. When we talk about microbiological studies of polysaccharides, the first question is, what is the intended use of the polysaccharide? Will it be studied for food, cosmetics, pharmacy, medicine, or other applications? Microbiological studies of polysaccharides usually include microbiological purity, antimicrobial activity, fermentation studies, and stability tests. The choice of method depends on the goal. If the goal is product safety, the focus is on detecting microbial contamination. If the goal is biological functions, we focus on antibacterial or prebiotic effects. Testing the microbiological purity of polysaccharides means checking whether the product contains any microorganisms. This is very important because microorganisms can affect the safety, stability, and biological activity of the product. Sources of contamination can include natural origin of the raw material, production and isolation processes, storage and transport conditions, and secondary contamination, for example, stuff on air. These tests help makers produce high-quality products and minimize losses. Usually, the total number of bacteria, yeasts, and molds is measured, as well as the presence of certain pathogenic species. For example, Escherichia coli, Salmonella, Clostridium, or Pseudomonas. Antimicrobial activity is the ability of a substance, in our case polysaccharides, to inhibit the growth to kill microorganisms. These studies are done to find natural biodegradable antimicrobial agents, preservatives, or substances that extended product shelf life. The methods are divided into quantitative, when we observing the zone of inhibition around the polysaccharide sample, large the zone, the stronger activity, and quantitative method, such as minimum inhibitory concentration and minimum bactericidal concentration, where the polysaccharide is diluted in a microbial culture to determine the lowest concentration that inhibits or kills microorganisms. Very important method is the prebiotic index, PI, shows a polysaccharide's ability to stimulate the growth of beneficial good bacteria, such as Bifidobacterium or Lactobacillus, while limiting the growth of pathogens, such as Clostridium or Bacteroides. A positive PI indicates strong prebiotic activity. A PI close to zero or negative means little or no effect. Examples of polysaccharides with positive PI values include inulin, fructooligosaccharides, or resistant starch. A high PI shows a beneficial effect on good microbiota, supporting digestive health and immune function. The studies involve growing selected microorganisms in the presence of the polysaccharides and measure bacterial growth, production of short-chain fatty acids, and pH changes, all of which reflect the fermentation process. Microbiological stability means the resistance of a polysaccharide of the growth and activity or microorganisms during storage or use. These tests show whether and how long the polysaccharide remains freed from contamination and whether it can serve as a food source for microorganisms. The most common method is the challenge test, where known microbial strains such as Staphylococcus aureus or Escherichia coli sometimes are added to the polysaccharide polysaccharide sample. The sample is then incubated under specific conditions, and the reduction in microorganisms is monitored over time. Another method is monitoring purity during storage. Samples are stored for a definite period, for example, 3 or 20 months, under various conditions: temperature, light, humidity, and checked for bacteria, yeast, and moss. Conclusion: microbiological testing of polysaccharide is important to make sure they are safe and high quality. These tests help find any contamination, check their stability, and support the creation of safe, natural, and innovative products for medicine, cosmetics, and food. Polysaccharides are therefore valuable for healthy and eco-friendly technologies. So that's all from me. Thank you for your time and attention. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your great presentation. And now we invite Kamila Lewicka-Brzoza. She will be talking about possibilities of using natural polymers in controlled release systems of active substances. The floor is yours.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Kamila Lewicka-Brzoza, and today I will be talking about my recent research on the control release of cosmeceuticals using newly synthesized chitosan-based carriers. In the following part of my presentation, I will first explain how control release systems work and why natural polymers such as chitosan and carrageenan are particularly interesting for this purpose. Control release systems are modern technologies that allow a gradual release of an active ingredient such as a drug, fertilizer, or cosmetic compound over time. This helps maintain a stable concentration of the substance in the body or environment, improving its effectiveness and minimizing side effects. Traditionally, synthetic polymers have been used for this purpose. However, natural polymers are now becoming more popular because they are biodegradation, safe, and environmentally friendly. The table and graph on the slide compare control and conventional release systems. As you can see, control release systems maintain a more constant therapeutic concentration over a longer period and require less frequent application. The release of an active substance from the polymer matrix can occur in different ways. The most common mechanism is diffusion, where molecules slowly move through the polymer structure. Another mechanism is erosion or biodegradation, where the polymer gradually decomposes, releasing the substance. There are also stimuli-responsive systems, for example, polymers that swell and release the active ingredient in response to changes in pH or temperature. One of the most interesting natural polymers is chitosan. It has attracted a lot of scientific attention due to its biodegradability, biocompatibility, and non-toxicity. Thanks to its antimicrobial properties, chitosan can be used in pharmaceuticals, food, cosmetics, and agriculture. Moreover, its chemical structure can be modified to adapt its properties for specific application. In the first stage of the synthesis of chitosan derivatives, chitosan had to be prepared by the acetylation. Chitosan-based Schiff base was obtained by reaction chitosan with 2,3-dinecarboxyaldehyde. By introducing hydrophobic PCl chain into hydrophilic chitosan, a graft copolymer with amphiphilic properties was created. In the next stage, compatible chitosan-based Schiff base polymer blends were created, grafted with polycaprolactone and carrageenan in various weight ratio. Carrageenan extract from riccia wood is another interesting biopolymer. It's widely used as a stabilizer and thickener in cosmetic and, like chitosan, has moisturizing and regeneration properties. The polymer mixture were physically mixed and then used to form microparticles using emulsion cross-linking. A water in oil emulsion was created in the presence of a surfactant and glutaral-aldehyde as a cross-linking agent. After washing and drying, the resulting microspheres were analyzed using a scanning electron microscope. Most of them had a size of 10 to 25 micrometers. In vitro fermentation studies were performed using the France cell systems with a pH 5 buffer solution. The donor chamber containing a basic cream base with the microspheres loaded with vitamin E, which served as a model active ingredient. The membrane used, START-M, mimics human skin. Samples were taken from the receptor chamber for HPLC analysis. The results show that in the reference samples, pure vitamin E in the cream base, the active ingredient was released almost completely within 16 minutes. In contrast, the formulation with our chitosan and carrageenan microspheres demonstrate a much slower and more controlled release, continuing to increase over 6 hours. To summarize, we successfully synthesized polymeric materials with promising properties for microparticle formation. The resulting microspheres had a regular shape, smooth surface, and uniform size distribution. The vitamin E-loaded microparticles showed a desirable control release profile through the skin mimicking membrane, which is a promising result for developing anti-aging creams. In conclusion, newly synthesized biodegradable polymers matrix based on polysaccharides such as chitosan and carrageenan show great potential for the controlled release of biologically active substance in many applications. Thank you for your attention and good luck to next speakers.
Thank you very much for your presentation. And now I invite Jakub Łagiewka to give a presentation entitled Cyclodextrins as Key Components for Removal of Organic Pollutants.
Hello everyone, I'm Jakub Łagiewka and I would like to talk today about the cyclodextrin as a key component in the materials for the removal of organic pollutants from aqueous environment. In the first place, I would like to remind you about the water and sewage pollutions. As a developing and developed societies, we are one of the primary sources in these organic pollutants in the aqueous environment. This is decreasing the water quality, which can be applied in the during the drinking, food application, or even industrial applications. This is connected to the emission of organic pollutants like organic dyes, pesticides, or even drugs. In this case, the European Union is focusing on monitoring, reporting, and removal of these pollutants from aqueous environment. I'm working with cyclodextrin-based material because they are perfect material for removal of organic pollutants. This is connected to the presence of the cyclodextrin, which are macrocyclic oligosaccharides, mostly based on 6, 7, or 8 glucose units. This macrocyclic ring is capable to form inclusion complexation with organic molecules like dyes, pesticides, or even drugs, like mentioned before as our model organic pollutants. In this case, the presence of cyclodextrin can provide us efficient binding of the organic molecules. We can find different materials like sorbents or membranes. In case of sorbents, mostly we are working with polymeric network, where the cyclodextrin is main building block and also main binding site. In this case, there is no ratio between the host-gas system 1:1, but rather partial binding by multiple cyclodextrin or formation of organophilic space between the cavities. This kind of material can provide the high sorption capacity, selective removal depending on the molecular structure of the binding site around the cyclodextrin, which can behave rather as a receptor in the protein. Due to the fact that we can provide different molecular structure, different binding groups like aromatic units, ionizable groups, the same structure, multifunctional character can provide us also rapid removal. And one of the materials I'm working with is polymeric network based on cyclodextrin and biphenyl D anhydride. In this case, material is insoluble in water and capable to bind organic dyes like cationic methylene blue. Very rapid removal we can obtain in this material because after 1 minute 85% of removal and after 5 minutes we can get around 95%. So it's very efficient, rapid material for binding the organic molecules, especially for selective isolation of materials. Another type of sorbent which I have designed is composite based on the same polymeric network, but this time the network is composed of perylene anhydride. This polymeric network is soluble in water, so I performed ionic cross-linking with ketone to form a material stable in wide range of pH from 3 to 11. This type of material can bind efficiently the anionic dyes like acid orange 7. Another class of material I'm working with are polymeric inclusion membranes. This is the material based of matrix like cellulose triacetate and a carrier which can selectively transport between two aqueous phases organic molecules. In this case, I have applied beta-cyclodextrin perbenzoate derivative. This material can, depending on the pH and the chemical character of the molecule pollutant, selectively transport between source phase and the receiving phase organic molecules. Since the fact these molecules composing the polymeric membrane are insoluble in water, so they can effectively interact only with organic molecules but not with the water molecules or other ionic compound. And to sum up, I would like to remind you that if you are looking for material capable to remove organic pollutants from aqueous solution, I could offer you a cyclodextrin-based material because they can provide you a selective and rapid binding and removal, so you can easily isolate different organic species from the aqueous environment. If you are considering the design of the material, you need to remember material must be stable in water and insoluble in water. So you need to always check if it's stable or at least insoluble in water. So that's all from me. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much. Now the next presentation, titled Polymeric Solid Dispersions for Poorly Water-Soluble Drugs, Improving Solubility and Recrystallization Resistance, will be presented by Marika Turek.
Hello everyone, my name is Marika Turek and I'm a researcher at the Jan Dlugosz University in Częstochowa at the Institute of Chemistry. Today I would like to present some insight from my research on polymeric solid dispersions for poorly water-soluble drugs, focusing on how they can improve solubility and recrystallization resistance. As we know, poor water solubility is one of the major challenges in pharmaceutical development. About 30% of marketed drugs and as many as 17 to 90% of new chemical entities show low solubility in water. This makes low solubility one of the main reasons for drug candidates failing during preclinical or clinical stages. And this directly affects bioavailability, leading to limited absorption and reduced therapeutic effect. Developing a completely new drug is an extremely long, expensive and risky process. On average, bringing a new active pharmaceutical ingredient to the market takes about 10 to 15 years and is counted in millions or billions of dollars. Because of that, it's often much more reasonable for the pharmaceutical industry to modify or reformulate existing drugs rather than start from the scratch. This approach, known as drug repositioning or reformulation, carries lower risk, reduced development costs and time, and uses already well-known molecules with established pharmacological and safety profiles. By modifying the formulation of an existing active pharmaceutical ingredient, we can improve its solubility, bioavailability, and sometimes even reduce side effects. In my research, I try to add additional supplementary action to the initial drug as to obtain a double-acting drug. What are solid dispersions? Solid dispersions are systems where a poorly water-soluble drug is dispersed in a solid matrix to enhance its solubility and dissolution rate. When we use polymers as carriers, we can achieve high physical stability and even controlled release of the drug. Alternatively, in coamorphous systems, the drug is dispersed with a small coformer such as another drug or small molecule, leading to a higher drug loading and controlled molecular mobility. The methods of synthesizing solid dispersions are largely similar to the methods of synthesizing co-crystals. Whether the obtained product will be amorphous or crystalline often depends on the nature of the compounds used and its tendency to crystallize or not. In my work, I often use mechanochemical methods such as ball milling because it's easy to amorphosize the drug with the polymer by using this method. For example, when we talk about the methodology for obtaining ecoamorphous solid dispersions, the key technique for monitoring the synthesis progress is the X-ray powder diffraction. This method allows us to assess the degree of amorphousness by periodically taking samples during the grinding process. Once the fully amorphosized product is obtained, the next important step is to verify its stability. To do this, we perform stability studies under both zero humidity and elevated humidity conditions. As shown, the product remains amorphous for 54 weeks, which means it was stable for over a year. Of course, other analyses are also important, such as infrared spectroscopy, differential scanning calorimetry, solid-state NMR, or quantum chemical calculations, but only for small molecular systems. Once we have a fully characterized product, we can move on to the most important question: has the release profile improved? To find out, we perform dissolution tests using a chamber that meets pharmacopoeial standards. We evaluate drug release from various forms, tablets and powder formulations. The tests are carried out in different media, such as water, phosphate buffer, and hydrochloric acid, to simulate various conditions inside the human body. As you can see in the graph, the amorphous product dissolves a completely different way than the crystalline form. It's important to note that this is the same combination of two substances, only their physical state is different. We also compare these results with pure starting API and with a physical mixture of the drug and the coformer or polymer used in this formulation. All this work is done in the Laboratory for New Drug Formulation Research at Jan Dlugosz University. We had equipment such as the climatic chamber for stability testing under controlled temperature, humidity, and light conditions, the dissolution tester I mentioned earlier, used for release studies, and a sonicator for the sonochemical synthesis, and a ball mill used for grinding or mechanochemical processes. Thank you very much for your attention. If you have any questions, please contact me at the email shown on the screen. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And now I will have the pleasure of presenting the next presentation, titled Exploring Novel Methods for Dextrin Production and Their Applications in Food. Good morning, everyone. My name is Malwina, Wojcik, and I am Master of Human Nutrition and Dietetics, and I'm working as a research assistant at Jan Dlugosz University in Częstochowa in Department of Dietetics and Food Studies. And today I will present our work about exploring novel methods for dextrin production and their applications in food. Our starting point is starch, which is inexpensive, widely abundant, and easily modified raw material. One of the methods of starch modification is dextrinization, which leads to obtaining dextrins. Dextrins are shorter branched polysaccharides with diversified physicochemical and functional properties and have many various applications in pharmacy, agriculture, nutrition, and more. In our works, we are focusing on resistant dextrins, which are resistant to enzymatic digestion in human small intestine and therefore behave as components of soluble dietary fiber. Dietary fiber is part of functional food, food that not only delivers us calories, but also have health-promoting effect. In the conventional method of resistant dextrins production, native starch is subjected to thermal treatment combined with acid or without acid catalysis. A wide variety of starch sources can be used in this process, including normal and vaccine maize, potato, cassava, and other starches. We can use also different heating conditions, and the conversion can be catalyzed by mineral or organic acids such as hydrochloric, acetic, citric, or tartaric acid, though in some cases no catalyst is used. In some formulations, we can also use alpha amylase to support partial hydrolysis. Overall, conventional methods of dextrin production are effective but energy demanding and often lack precise control over reaction kinetics and product functionality. In the next stage of our research, we implemented successfully production of resistant dextrins on semi-industrial scale in prototype innovative device, dextrinizer. At the laboratory scale, each cycle produced about 70 grams of dextrin with dietary fiber content below 30% and solubility in water below 90%, low viscosity and no retrogradation tendency. After scaling up the process, we obtained about 7 grams per cycle with dietary fiber content above 30% and almost 100% solubility, and the same stable functional properties, what confirming that the process remained efficient and reproducible on a semi-industrial scale. We developed an eco-efficient microwave method for dextrin production also. Microwave heating provides fast and uniform energy transfer, reducing both processing time and energy use. This innovative approach supports green chemistry principles and offers a sustainable alternative to conventional thermal methods. Using microwave synthesizer, we run reactions in continuous or discontinuous modes. Microwave heating can speed up reactions from 10 to 1000 times. It also enables new reaction pathways impossible under conventional heating. And that's the true innovation in starch modification. Our research is based often on close cooperation with industry and academia. And thank you for your attention, and we invite you to cooperate. Thank you very much for listening to my presentation. And now the next presenter is Arkadiusz Żarski with his presentation titled Design of Green Plasticizers and Compatibilizers for the Processing of Carbohydrate Polymers.
Good morning. My name is Arkadiusz Żarski. I am a food biotechnologist with a PhD in chemistry. Today I would like to briefly tell you about my research, especially about green plasticizers and compatibilizers for the processing of carbohydrate polymers. My adventure with polysaccharides began 13 years ago, when I was doing research for my master thesis entitled Study of the Stability of Starch Preparation in vitro gastrointestinal models. Over the following years, I participated in projects on various modification application of polysaccharides, mainly starch, but now I am focusing on their non-food application. During my PhD research in chemistry, I developed a method for obtaining hydrophobic potato starch derivatives by biocatalyzed esterification reaction with fatty acids, unsaturated fatty acids, in ionic liquid with the small addition of a surfactant P80. To evaluate the application potential of these hydrophobic starch derivatives, I used them as a base material for the design of new polymer materials for the production of biodegradable packaging. A significant achievement was obtaining funding for this research from the National Science Center in Poland. During the project, I turned out the developed packaging materials based on starch esters were characterized by good processing and functional properties, while remaining biodegradable and non-toxic to the environment. My experience in starch modification allowed me to join the research team of another project supported by the National Center for Research and Development, also in Poland, under the acronym POCOMP. This time under the leadership of the Łukasiewicz Research Network Institute for Engineering of Polymer Materials and Dyes in Poland, we investigated a bioproduct that accelerates the decomposition of biodegradable plastics in compost and also improves the condition of plants. It was a bacterial enzymatic preparation in a matrix based on urea plasticized starch. I'm currently researching new deep athetic solvent systems. So solvents consist of hydrogen bond donor and hydrogen bond acceptor for use as a potential plasticizers in the processing of natural polymers, mainly polysaccharides. I'm looking for good candidates among protein and fat hydrolysates, for example, in processed animal product or used cooking oil. And plasticization tests will be carried out on industrial waste products still rich in polysaccharides, such as wood flour and coffee husk, and another, for example, WPC, so is a wood polymer composites. In conclusion, I must also point out that in addition to research on compatibilizers and plasticizers for polymer processing, I also deal with eco-friendly and biodegradable surfactants based on modified polysaccharides, mainly maltodextrins, second-generation biofuels based on selected agri-food waste, and smart fertilizers based on polysaccharide hydrolysates composites. To obtain functional materials based on polysaccharides, we use mainly green methods like microwave, ultrasonic, and mechanochemical. Currently, our research partners are Łukasiewicz Research Network in Poland and Petru Poni Institute of Macromolecular Chemistry in Iași in Romania. I also invite you to collaborate with me. If anyone is interested, they can find contact details here. So at this moment, thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much. And now, welcome to our roundtable discussion. We are very pleased to have you all here today. Our conversation will focus primarily on international cooperation, exploring how we can strengthen partnerships, share best practices, and identify new opportunities for collaboration in the future. We also place special emphasis on supporting and engaging junior researchers, helping them to build international networks and develop their research potential. Before we begin, let's introduce our invited participants. Professor Janusz Kapusniak, EPNOE representative. University Professor Piotr Richter, Head of Interdisciplinary Science and Research Center at Jan Dlugosz University in Częstochowa. PhD Andriy Galaydin, Specialist for Foreign Relations, Deputy Coordinator for Erasmus Plus Program. Izabela Hepner-Zyber, Specialist in Department of Science and Scientific Projects, Grant Application Support Office. Agnieszka Jerzy-Jakubczak, Welcome Center Specialist. And Manuela Graf, Network Grant Officer for Colors. Now let's start our discussion, during which we will try to explore how we can cooperate in the future and what our university can offer, especially to junior researchers. Let's start. Professor, from 2016 to 2024, you served as Vice-Rector for Research and International Relations at Jan Dlugosz University, as well as Vice President for Education at EPNOE. As we know from your time as a PhD student to this day, you have traveled extensively, established contacts, and gained experience in numerous internships and projects abroad. Therefore, I would like to ask, why is there such a strong emphasis on international cooperation? Why is it so important for both universities and companies? And what role can junior researchers play in it?
Thank you for this question. Good morning, everyone, once again. International collaboration is incredibly important because it allows people to share knowledge, ideas, experiences that single university or company wouldn't be able to access on their own. In today's world, science and innovation advance faster when people from different countries collaborate. They bring the diverse perspectives, methods, and often access to advanced technologies. For universities, this provides an opportunity to expand the reach of research, gain greater visibility, and access international funding opportunities. For companies, this helps them innovate faster, enter new markets, and leverage scientific knowledge, all of which increases their competitiveness. And of course, you, young scientists, play a significant role in this process. Young scientists often directly involved in projects, bringing fresh ideas, energy, and of course, curiosity. Working in international teams helps you gain experience, learn cross-cultural collaboration, and build networks that can help you in the future. You often maintain the dynamics of collaboration and also bring a new perspective that drive development. From my perspective, I can say that international collaboration has been a part of my life since my university years, when I spent 3 months in Ireland, in Cork, as part of the Tempus program. Then, when I completed a year-long postdoctoral fellowship at Iowa State University in the US, and then 10 years ago, when I became involved in EPNOE. A natural consequence of my commitment to internationalization process was serving as Vice-Rector of Jan Dlugosz University in Częstochowa, responsible for the international collaboration for 8 years. A crucial step in my life was working to establish an alliance of 9 European universities under the acronym COLORS. And the culmination of my internationalization efforts was receiving an honorary professor from Lesia Ukrainka Volyn National University in Lutsk. This distinction was awarded for contribution to the internationalization of the Ukrainian university and also stimulating the development of its links with other academic centers in Europe. I mention this to further convince you, young scientists, that international cooperation between scientific institutions and also companies is the key to the institutional and also personal success. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think you are a specialist in international cooperation. It's very inspiring to hear how young researchers can already play an active role in these networks. Following up on that, I'd like to turn to the broader institutional perspective. So, the Jan Dlugosz University website notes that the International Cooperation Department coordinates Erasmus+, PROM and other exchange programs, and that the university is actively working to increase the number of international students and research partnerships. So, my question is, what specific actions is Jan Dlugosz University taking to facilitate the initiation of international collaborations for junior researchers, both formally and substantively? And what are the university's current priorities in this regard? And Manuela, the floor is yours.
Yes, thank you, and thank you for the question. At JDU, we believe that science is based on openness, curiosity, and collaboration across borders. That's why we strongly support young scientists in gaining experience and expanding their knowledge, not only on a domestic level through internal projects, but also through international possibilities. Our team at JDU acts like a bridge between scientists and institutions, helping them every step of the way through selecting an appropriate opportunity, through helping out with the application process, to actually contacting the institution that you need. So at JDU, we really care that you find the path that's right for you. Some of the possibilities available at JDU for young scientists are such programs as PROM, which enables short-term academic mobility, Erasmus+, facilitating study and research stays abroad, and the National Science Center, which provides various means of funding for scientists based on their experience, need, and also scope of research. So there's always something that's right for you. And our team, specifically and my colleagues at the Department for International Cooperation and the Grant Application Support Office will later say something more about current projects and possibilities for international mobility. What I would like to talk about today as a PhD student myself is the hackathon, meant exclusively for young scientists. The hackathon isn't just a scientific space, it's a various and vibrant field where young scientists from 9 different European countries come together to innovate, collaborate, and inspire one another. And the hackathon offers its participants the possibility to showcase their research on an international level, to forge lasting professional contacts in their fields, and to maybe inspire their own research projects. At the same time, the hackathon is a friendly competition where young scientists have the real opportunity to win financial awards, which fuels their motivation for more and supports their strengths as scientists. And the hackathon offers a real chance and a real possibility of truly making a lasting impact on the future of science for young scientists, and that is why it's very important to us at JDU, not only in terms of further integration within the European University Alliance, but also because what it means for young scientists, who, as we know, are the future of both science and our own university at JDU. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Manuela. It's great to see such structured efforts and ideas to make international cooperation more accessible and strategic, especially for early career scientists. Speaking of international networks, since 2023, Jan Dlugosz University has been a member of the Colors Consortium, which has received around 15 million euros in funding and brings together universities from across the European Union to strengthen education, research and innovation. So, I have a question to Professor Richter. Considering the initiatives undertaken so far in connection with Colors, which elements of this collaboration have proven most valuable for young researchers, and which aspects would be worth developing in the future?
Thank you very much for inviting me to this panel. Good morning, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, I represent Work Package 4. I'm co-space officer and co-leader of this work package within Colors Alliance, and I can say that this work package is one of the biggest and is the most related to the science, to the research. This is the reason why I'm here today. Work Package 4 is we can say this is a kind of bridge connecting people from 4 areas. We call it quadruple helix. And this is a representatives from the policymaker, from the university, from the this is a stakeholders, entrepreneurs, and policymakers. So generally, we started to observe that when you go outside the university, this is very good point of view from the people from the outside. It means that we are not so hermetic and they look at us as an open university. This work package focus on the 4 smart specialization, food production, IT and digitalization, health and well-being, and green transition. With this reason, we try to keep within this field organizing so-called collabs. Collabs, this is a kind of symposium joining, let's say, lectures with workshops. And what I observed, that after organizing 2 collabs, students, PhD students, young researchers, they are more and more involved, and they are really interested in taking a part in our scientific activities. Together, as Manuela said, with Collab, we organize the hackathons. She said many words about it, but I would like to complete that. Students, we do not, this is kind of competition, okay, but we do not impose the topic. We give you a possibility to offer your topic to be solved. Of course, as usually, you always meet some difficulties to be overcome. But generally, when you are, let's say, when you have some ideas, you can come to us and we give you opportunity to solve the problem, to work on it, and through the Students' Entrepreneurship Center, which is going to be established this month or next month at the Jan Dlugosz University, we can support you, giving you a seed funding. So let's say we can support financially the best ideas in this competition after the hackathon. So from my point of view, as an experienced researcher, this is a great opportunity for young people with high creativity, people with open mind, and this is a great trampoline when you can jump very high and shake hands with the other partners, let's say, in the scientific space at the other universities. So if somebody is, this is my suggestion, if you, as a young people, as a young researcher, young scientist, are interested in cooperation, if you have some ideas, please contact me directly, and I will explain you step by step what you should do in the future. So you come to us with your ideas, we will help you, and also we support you financially to open, to establish, to develop your junior enterprise. It is kind of, let's say, startup, and JDU Colors Alliance offers such a possibility. Thank you.
Thank you very much for this interesting and inspiring response. I took part in Collab myself, and I must admit that that was a unique event. And you talk about come to Poland with ideas of young researchers. So now let's start with a topic that especially will be especially relevant for junior researchers who are looking to broaden their horizons. So mobility and exchange opportunities. And I have a question to Andriy. What exchange and mobility programs, both domestic and international, are currently most accessible and rewarding for junior researchers wanting to come to Jan Dlugosz University? And what would you suggest if someone wanted to participate in one in the coming year?
All right, thank you for this question. Good morning. So as the very name of our department suggests, we are a department for international cooperation. So basically we focus on international mobilities. And having heard this question, the 4 options popped up in my mind. And the first one apparently is Erasmus+, because this is the program that has been there for years. And I believe all of us here have heard about it and have participated in it, or maybe will do so. And before answering the question per se, I would like to focus on the definition of the young researcher, because it might be either a PhD student or candidate from one side, or on the other hand, the young research fellow as an employee at the university or research center. And why is that important? Because from the perspective of the programs I will name now, they will have slightly different eligibility criteria. The eligibility criteria number one, the most important one, is to have the active status of either the PhD student or the young researcher with PhD degree at the university as an employee. For example, in Erasmus+, if you are a PhD candidate, you can participate in the income mobility to JDU for the doctoral mobility, which we call SMS. Yes, this is like mobility for studies, but because doctoral studies are heavily connected with research, so by the nature of the fact, they become also the doctoral mobility as well. When it comes to the teaching income mobilities, the name of the mobility is staff mobility for teaching. So again, as the very name suggests, these employees, they should teach in the first place, but still there is some room and some space for the research and science there, especially in cases when you can join this STA mobility, teaching mobility, with training mobility for that matter. So that's Erasmus+. Another project, and Erasmus Plus is funded by the national agency in Poland, in Warsaw, and from the top bottom by the European Commission in Brussels. The next program I would like to name is NAVA Prom, and currently it's still open. However, it's coming to an end. So the deadline for this project is the last day of December 2025, and now basically 2 calls are open, and the nominations are being accepted both for incoming students and PhD students, as well as for the outgoing students and PhD students. Unlike Erasmus, which is more rigorous in terms of the types of the mobilities, because here we have basically doctoral mobility and teaching mobility. In Prom, you have manifold options. For example, when we are talking about PhD students or young research fellows as the employees of the university, they can do such activities as, these are some examples from the catalog suggested by NAVA, for example, the library query in the library, or the archive query or search in the archive. Also acquiring and obtaining materials for the PhD thesis, or for a scientific article, or for a monograph, as well as all kinds of internships, like scientific internship, scientific visit, and many more. So this is another project which is funded by National Agency of Academic Exchange, that's NAVA in Polish. This is the one that is still ongoing, but it's coming to an end. Another one which we technically have been granted already, but have not started yet, is also under NAVA, and it's called Support for European Universities. And we have it because we have been privileged and we worked hard to apply and to obtain the status of the prominent and outstanding members of the European Alliance, which is called COLORS. So we are there together with another 8 universities in Europe, with the University Paderborn as the leader, and as well as other universities in France, Sweden, Latvia, Northern Macedonia, I think, Poland, Germany, I said, Italy, and Croatia. Correct. Thank you, Professor. So the idea about this project is very similar to Prom. The difference is that it's 2-year long. The catalog of mobilities is pretty much the same, and as the very name suggests, the focal point here is on the European University Alliance members, meaning that it presupposes the incoming and outbound mobility from and to the European universities in the first place, but also given the space and given the opportunities for other in this case PhD students and staff, but also regular students to come to us, as well as to be hosted from other institutions, and not only institutions but also companies, enterprises, businesses, libraries and whatnot, for the purpose of the realization of these mobilities. So now I have named 3 options, and these 3 options are important and also favorable for the participants because they are funded. So we have funding here. In the case of Erasmus, it's in euros. In the case of NAVA programs, it's in Polish currency, Polish zloty. And while funding is important for the participants because it helps them, well, for the maintenance costs, for the travel costs, and so on and so forth. And there is another option which do not necessarily have to be funded, might be funded, but sometimes it's not. It's general bilateral cooperation. So we have currently more than, I think, around 300 bilateral cooperation agreements with universities all over the world. And the idea here is that outside of Erasmus or PROM or the support for European university initiatives, bilateral cooperation means that having the active agreement ongoing as long as 2, but actually 3 parties agree on the program and the funding and other issues of the mobility, such mobility can get implemented. And the idea of all of these mobility programs is that there should be the consent and the agreement on all the issues by 3 parties. The first party being the actual participant himself or herself, the second party being the sending university, which is our partner from abroad, and the third university being JDU itself. So as long as there is agreement, there are no hindrances, and such projects are being implemented. We, as the Department for International Cooperation from our side, together with our Vice-Rector, Professor Sosnowski, we are doing our best to apply for these projects on the year-to-year basis to prepare the application grants at the best quality possible so that we get funding, we get the places to go, and by doing so, to strengthen and foster the internationalization of our university and also our partner universities as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Excellent. Junior researchers have many opportunities. It's clear that mobility programs play a key role in helping junior researchers gain international experience and expand their networks. And of course, international cooperation doesn't stop with mobility. It also involves creating and implementing joint research projects with partners abroad. So my question is, what are the opportunities for jointly submitting research projects with foreign partners? And how can Grant Application Support Office of Jan Dlugosz University support researchers in establishing such partnerships? And that's my question to Izabela.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the floor. Thank you for the invitation. Let me introduce once again. My name is Izabela Hetner-Zybert, and I present Grant Application Support Office of Jan Dlugosz University in Częstochowa. We promote a wide range of both international and national grant programs, grant calls. Recently, we noticed what's really positive, a huge increase of number of these offers, which entail cooperation with foreign partners, foreign scientists in international, often cross-sectoral, interdisciplinary consortiums. What's more, a lot of agencies, a lot of organizations launching their programs, their grant calls, award extra points for participation of young scientists in projects. Here, I'd like to draw your attention to such programs, such calls as Maria Skłodowska-Curie Actions, doctoral networks. What's interesting here, each consortium member needs to recruit at least 1 PhD student. Coast actions, this is a call open for scientists at every stage of their scientific, their professional career, even PhD students. and Fulbright Junior Research Award for young scientists, the Kościuszko Foundation with exchange program to the US, also for young scientists, young scientists, but from of all research areas. As for Polish agencies, we've got, for example, National Agency of Academic Exchange with joint research projects. Here, the priority have projects which entail cooperation with young scientists. National Science Center with Opus Plus Call. For scientists at every stage of their scientific career, of their professional career. Also foreign scientists and Foundation for Polish Science with first team call, co-founded by European Foundation for a Modern Economy. Here, cooperation with at least one foreign academic partner is mandatory. And as for the second part of your question, how Grant Application Support Office can help researchers to establish such partnerships. Nowadays there are a lot of agencies, a lot of organizations which offer their own possibilities, their own tools for partner searching. It's very easy using them, find a partner you are looking for, basing on your own criteria, your own preferences. But of course, if you need some help, we can support you. We can help you, basing on our own contacts with partner organizations. For example, Colors Alliance. You can contact us in two different ways. The first one is via submit your project idea application form available on our website in Grant Application Support Office tab. And the second one, traditional way of contact is our mailbox. Our email address is projects. I try to spell it projects at ujd.edu.pl. We invite you to get in touch. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I think it was very clear and practical. So as you can see, you can contact with Isabella. And now, continuing on the topic of international cooperation, let's now focus on how Jan Dlugosz University welcomes and supports visitors from abroad. In 2024, Jan Dlugosz University launched its Welcome Center, a unit dedicated to assisting international students, PhD candidates and staff. So what are the main tasks of the Welcome Center? What are the main challenges young researchers face when first embarking on international cooperation? For example, formalities, cultural adaptation, language. And how can the Welcome Center and the university help address them? And that's my question to specialist in Welcome Center, Agnieszka.
Thank you very much for welcoming me here and inviting me. Finally, the floor is mine. So I have some things to speak about the main task of our Welcome Center, which is accordingly quite new. As you said, it was opened in 2024. So we do our best that we treat every individual, every newcomer in a detailed way, in an individual way. And for this reason, we created 3 steps, 3 stages of such a welcome. The first stage is we called it before arrival, which is our assistance during visa process, which is our assistance before the newcomer even plans to pack. And for this reason, we created such tools as a survival kit, which is updated every 2 months. in this kit, the newcomer can find all useful information like manual, how to move around airports, train stations, so very simple and technical points. Once the individual comes to the city, we do not just offer our assistance in a simple administrative way, which is contact with the Civil Affairs Department for international citizens. First of all, we invite the individual to our office, and we discuss his or her I would not say problems, but his or her expectations. Of course, we cooperate with the Civil Affairs Department in the municipal office, which is really of help. As you said about some problems with organization of their life. So we give support organizing orientation days. So actually we spend a week on showing the campus around. We spend the time on creating buddy program. And what is more important, and it goes without saying, that our last initiative is that we give support 24/7 from Monday to Monday, let's say, and we do it together with my colleague who is institutional coordinator of Erasmus Plus program. So we created this support because of the need of all of the individuals, of all international individuals, and we named it Emergency Concierge. What else? We also cooperate with Erasmus Students Club, which is really active at JDU. And we organize many international events like sports activities or games activities or karaoke activities, whatever. And all of the internationals are invited to such meetings to create a real Polish atmosphere and to somehow sell this idea of Poland. We also organize international Christmas Eves and Easter lunches. What else I can say? Of course, we give support with medical issues. We cooperate with one medical unit, which is just across the dormitory. So they are really supportive also. And what is also important is that we, in our Welcome Center, we also have Your Access Center, which is very important for new researchers. And having Your Access, we cooperate with all of the Your Access members. We meet every 2 months online in order to update our tasks, in order to familiarize with all of the rules and regulations of the ministry concerning labor work, or all of the issues which are necessary to be updated in the context of Your Access Center. And so the last stage of the support is that after departure contact, which is for us really crucial, as we ask every individual to complete after mobility questionnaire, and on the basis of this questionnaire, we may create how to act even better. So I believe that being in our institution and having us as a support means safe journey, good, enjoyable stay, and welcome.
Thank you very much. for your response. It's wonderful to see how much personalized support you offer. And I think it's a positive start, and adaptation can make all the difference in building long-term cooperations. Now that we covered the perspective of networks, universities, projects, formal and adaptive support for international collaboration, so we are almost at the end of our discussion. To close, I'd like to ask each of you to share a brief advice for young researchers who are just beginning their academic careers and would like to engage in international collaboration. And let's start with Professor Kapusniak. So what brief advice would you give to a young researcher who wants to pursue academic development and international collaboration?
Be open to new collaboration. Be ready to take on interesting scientific challenges. Use the knowledge and skills of your mentors. And what is most important, in my opinion, effectively use what modern times brings. Easy of travel, easy of communication, easy of obtaining scientific data, and learning without barriers.
Thank you. So now Manuela.
Yes, thank you. My advice to young scientists would be to be bold and stay curious when it comes to choosing their opportunities for mobility, to not be afraid to contact people whose work you admire. They usually aren't so scary as you think, and to not be afraid to contact institutions. The worst thing they can say is say no. You can live with that. I would advise them to reach for every opportunity they can get, to take part in many projects, but to learn how to select what's best for them. So don't go where you don't need to go, and research what actually interests you. And I would say from my own experience that a PhD, in my example, is a marathon, not a sprint. So have a good sense of humor, celebrate small victories, and remember to have a life outside of your research. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Great. Professor Richter?
Keep your mind open, be determined, don't hesitate to contact with your mentor, as Professor said. Don't give up, and I think that when you will be really creative and strong enough, your scientific dreams will come true. I'm sure of that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Andriy?
Yeah, so my advice is basically definitely to go for it and not to hesitate, because sometimes it might be once in a lifetime or one-of-a-kind opportunity, but also to make sure that you know where your Department for International Cooperation in your respective university is located, to go there and ask what are the current opportunities and what are the documents, what are the deadlines, not to miss it. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Isabella?
Well, from my point of view, I would advise you to observe carefully your surroundings, look for project ideas in your environments. Ideas are closer than you think, and the second very important thing is to not to be afraid, not to hesitate to making contacts with partners, with project partners, potential project partners, foreign partners. These two features, creativity and openness, are the key for success. And I keep my fingers crossed for your success. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Agnieszka?
So the only thing I can say is that I strongly agree with all of the speakers and welcome you at JDU.
Thank you very much for your inspiring contributions and thoughtful reflections. So today's discussion clearly shows that international cooperation is not just an institutional strategy, it's a shared mindset that connects people. And I think people are the most important. Ideas and opportunities across borders. So thank you very much, all of you. And now we have Q&A session, but I don't see the questions. So you can contact, of course, every person. And now I think our EPNOE Junior Day at Jan Dlugosz University is coming to an end. So today's presentation and discussions demonstrated that the power of science lies in collaboration and the courage to take on challenges. We saw how a younger generation of researchers with passion and determination are developing projects that have a real impact on the future. And the future of science is collaboration, openness, and the courage to take on new challenges, like we listened before. Thank all the guests, speakers, and participants. And I would like to express many thanks to the team responsible for producing the images, sounds, films, and photos. I hope this event will be the beginning of further joint activities and for young researchers an impetus to go further. Ask difficult questions and not be afraid to seek their own answers. I wish you much inspiration and see you at our next meetings. Goodbye.